The next time you walk into a gym, I want you to just stop for a second and look around. The way the treadmills are lined up, the feel of the flooring under your feet, even the temperature in the air, none of that is an accident, not a single bit. We're going to pull back the curtain on the secrets of gym design, and you'll see it's this incredibly deliberate process, all engineered to shape your workout.
So, have you ever really thought about it? Like, why do the cardio machines almost always face a window or a bank of TVs? And why is the free weight area usually tucked away in a corner somewhere? Well, there's a hidden logic to it all. It's a science, really, of creating a space that's not just functional, but also safe, motivating, and efficient. And we're about to decode it for you.
All right, let's dive right in. I want you to imagine you're building the perfect gym from the ground up. Before you even think about buying a single dumbbell, you're faced with this huge foundational decision that's going to define the entire project. Are you going to build it from scratch, or are you going to work with what you've already got?
And this right here is that first big choice. On the one hand, renovating an existing space, yeah, it can definitely be easier on the wallet. But you're kind of stuck playing by the old building's rules, dealing with low ceilings or maybe a support column right where you don't want it. New construction, on the other hand, that's a completely blank slate. Sure, it'll cost you more up front, but you get total control. You can bring your vision to life with absolutely no compromises.
Now, whichever path you go down, the pros follow a pretty clear 6-step roadmap. It all kicks off with a needs assessment, which is just a fancy way of asking, what exactly do we need this gym to do? From there, you move into the design phases, going from just rough ideas to super detailed blueprints. And finally, you get into the nitty-gritty of picking the right builders and managing the whole construction project to make sure what you get is exactly what you planned.
Okay, so you've got a plan. Now it's time to actually fill the space. But this is not a game of Tetris where you just cram everything in. Oh no, there are these industry-standard magic numbers. It's like a secret code, really, that tell you exactly how much space every single piece of equipment needs to be safe and to work properly.
So for just one piece of cardio equipment, we're talking your standard treadmill or elliptical, designers have to set aside at least 40 to 50 square feet. And you might think, wow, that's a lot. But it's not just for the machine. It's for you to be able to get on and off safely without elbowing the person next to you.
Then you move over to the strength equipment, like a leg press machine, and that number just jumps up. For those, you're going to need between 50 and 75 square feet. The reason is super simple. These machines have a much bigger range of motion, and that extra room is all about creating a critical safety buffer.
And then, at the very top of the food chain, space-wise, you have the free weight station. For something like a squat rack or a bench press, you need a full 100 square feet. This creates this essential safety bubble for the person lifting, for a spotter, and for anybody who might be walking by. It's a huge deal.
But look, a great gym is so much more than just well-placed equipment. It's really about how people move through this space. The design has to have a logical flow, right from a welcoming entrance to clear zones for cardio, weights, and so on. And then there are the absolute non-negotiables, like wide-open emergency exits and full accessibility for everyone that are baked into the plan from day one.
Now let's talk about the invisible stuff, the things you feel but don't necessarily see. The best gym designs control the entire environment. They create a space that feels comfortable, energizing, a space that makes you want to work out harder and maybe even stay a little longer.
I mean, just look at how incredibly precise this is. We're talking a temperature sweet spot between 68 and 72 degrees. Humidity that's controlled so the air never feels heavy. The entire volume of air in the room is getting replaced up to 12 times an hour. Even the lighting is measured in something called foot candles to make sure it's energizing but not glaring. It's a totally controlled world.
Okay, so motivation and vibe are super important, but nothing, and I mean absolutely nothing, is more important than safety. A massive part of the design process is all about finding and getting rid of potential dangers before a single person ever walks through that door.
You can think of it like a master safety checklist. We already talked about spacing, but they also have to spec out things like impact-absorbing flooring for the weight areas and non-slip surfaces for the locker rooms. They've got to make sure the building's electrical system can actually handle the power draw from 50 treadmills going at once. And of course, fire suppression and emergency lighting are built right into the plans.
Here's the thing. Designing a truly great gym isn't just about making a splash on opening day. It's about making sure it's still great a decade from now. Because a gym that's perfect today, but totally obsolete in 3 years, that's just a design failure. The best plans are always thinking ahead.
The golden rule here is to build for what you're going to need 5 to 10 years down the road. That means you're planning for more members, you're leaving empty space for new kinds of equipment that haven't even been invented yet, and you're making sure your building can handle an expansion. It's all about creating a space that can grow and adapt over time. And a huge part of future-proofing today means designing with sustainability in mind. But this isn't just about being green, it's about being smart. Using energy-efficient HVAC and lighting, well, that lowers your bills every single month. Using natural light as much as possible doesn't just save electricity, it also makes the whole place feel better. It's a total win-win for the business and for the planet.
So the next time you're in the gym, you'll see it differently. I promise. Not just as a room full of equipment, but as this carefully crafted machine that was designed specifically for you. Which leaves us with a really fascinating question to chew on. As new tech like virtual reality and AI start to creep into fitness, how are these core principles of design going to change? What will the gym of the future actually look like?